What's up, creators? It's your boy Mad Mike, and on today's episode we're going to try to fire up the Ferrari 355 replica that I built from my dad, move it around, so stay tuned and check it out. Alright creators, it is Easter long weekend. I am out on the property just moving some cars around. Behind me here I have a 1985 Pontiac Fiero with a Ferrari 355 replica body kit on it. I'm building this one here for my dad, but what we're doing today is we're going to try to fire up this car that hasn't been fired up in a long time. We have this carport here where I can store one car, and I got 3 other cars on the other side of the property. But behind here, I just realized that if I make some room, I could probably fit another 3 cars or so. So today we're gonna fire up the 355, see if we can back it up, and we're gonna see if we can make some more room for some more cars. This is a pretty awesome replica body. It's based off of an actual Ferrari 355. So one of the big differences with this kit here, making it more unique and more accurate to the actual 355 replica, are these lower side skirts. They're actually separate from the doors, where most kit cars, the door will have both scoops incorporated into the door panel. So as you guys can see here, you open up the door and you got the separate side skirt and the separate scoop in the door. So that is pretty awesome. This is based on a non-stretch Fiero, Pontiac Fiero chassis. Most of the cars you'll stretch about 5 to 6 inches, but what we did with this kit, we don't like stretching the chassis. 1, because then you don't have to reinforce it. 2, you could still reinforce it because we made it a convertible, but you're not extending the whole engine bay compartment, which is a lot of work, and you're kind of monkeying around with the stock Fiero chassis, and it's nice to keep everything intact if you can. But what we did was we shortened up the quarter panel in this section and the bumper panel in this section 3 inches in each side, so you can't really from the side tell that the car isn't stretched. It actually looks pretty accurate. And then moving from the sides down around to the back, we have the Ferrari 355 taillights. We also have the engine cover that's still got to get body worked. I've been working on this car since I was 19 years old, so you know, this thing's come out to BC with me. I drove it all the way across Canada and drove it all the way back to Ontario. It's been everywhere. It's been off the grid in the mountains. It's been down on sea level, down by the ocean in BC, and now it's back in Ontario. I'm getting ready to finish it up. But today we're gonna try to fire it up. So we just got the stock 2.8 liter Fiero V6 GT motor. I've done a lot of work to the motor over the past, 17 years or so that I've owned the car, and we're gonna just hook up the battery and we're gonna crank it over, see if we can hear the fuel pump and see if the car will fire up. So I got the battery all hooked up. Let's go ahead, hop inside. We'll see if we have power, see if we can hear the fuel pump kick in, and we'll see if it'll crank over. On the inside here, it's all Ferrari 355 replica dash and whatnot. I got this gauge cluster that I built when I was 19 years old. It's actually all carbon fiber, real carbon fiber. So I did that when I was 19. That's many moons ago, but we got real Ferrari 348 seats that I bought from California installed. They're gonna have to get re-dyed black and with some leather dye and reconditioned, but those are actual Ferrari seats. All right. Well, let's hop inside, put the key in the ignition, see if we get any kind of power. We got the keys, let's see what happens. Well, I hear the fuel pump, let's try to turn it over. No way, she wants to start. it, guys. It's idling. It's running a little rich. It's got some old fuel inside the gas tank. There she goes. Well, I think what I'm gonna do, see if I can get it running a little bit longer, see if I can get the idle to smooth out, and then we'll try to move it around. I don't wanna move it around right now with that rough idle, because if it stalls outside on the road, I won't be able to get it back in. So right now, fuel pump kicks in, it's running. It sounds like it's got a bit of a misfire, so I think it's only running on maybe 4 cylinders or 5 cylinders. It is a V6, so what we might do is, might have to pull out the spark plugs one by one, check the spark plugs to make sure that they're firing, and see if we can get it running a little bit better. I think it is running really rough because of the bad fuel that it's got in the tank, but let's just fire it up again and see if we can get it to pump through and see if it'll smooth out the idle. There's a fuel pump. You can hear the idle going up and down. So every time you pull the battery on a Fiero, the computer, the ECM's got to reset, so you'll get a crazy erratic idle until you go down the road for like, you got to go 40 kilometers an hour for a good distance for the computer reset. So that's why we've got this crazy erratic idle right now. Try to put it in gear. I think the brakes are stuck. Plus, I don't know what's drive, what's park, what's neutral, what's reverse. So what I mean is, if you look at my shifter down there, I got no indication of what neutral, drive, reverse is. So when I'm slamming it into gear, I have no idea where I am. So I think it's 4 notches down, but I also think that the brake calipers are seized up right now, so we might have to jack up the car and get the brake calipers all unstuck. That way I can roll the car forward, so yeah. Alright, so the next plan is to jack up the rear of the car, see if the e-brake is on, see if the wheels are locked up, and then if the e-brake's not on, we'll just see if the calipers are seized up. We'll try to put it into gear and see if we can get the rear end to spin. We're locked up. No bueno. Spins. I can't get at the other wheel. Well, it's starting to snow outside here too. So I got it in neutral right now. They seem to be spinning. I'm gonna try to fire up the car, see if we can drop it into drive, and see if we can get the rear end to spin and kind of clear off all the surface rust on the brakes. So I got the driver's side wheels spinning freely. The passenger side is still kind of locked up, so I think the caliper is still kind of seized up. I did notice that we're in a bit of a divot in the dirt, and now it's been sitting out here for over 2 years. So I grabbed some boards. I'm gonna try to shove them underneath the 2 back tires. Now that I got the 1 wheel to spin, I'm gonna try to slam it into gear, see if we can at least roll forward just to break that brake caliper loose. Let's go ahead, throw the boards underneath the tire, slam her into gear, see if we can get her to roll. try this again. Now that it's lower down, we'll slam it into gear. We'll see if we can get the brakes to break loose and roll forward. Well, now I'm in a bit of a dilemma. The good news is we got her to roll forward about 3 feet, but I didn't want to go too far because the road is in front of me and I got my girlfriend's parking space on the street there, and I tried to put it into reverse and I can't get the car to go backwards now. We're on a bit of an incline. You guys probably can't see it in the video here, so I might have to get a ratchet strap and try to ratchet the car back. Or go and pick up my dad's four-wheeler tomorrow, hook up the winch and drag it backwards. But we got it to roll forward, so that's good. Well, it is day 2 wrenching on the Pontiac Fiero Ferrari KitCar. And today, I just ripped out all the spark plugs, all 6 cylinders, and they were covered in gas and oil. So I just kind of cleaned them up. I replaced 2 of them with some newer NGKs that I had. It was running really rough yesterday. The other thing that I did was I pulled off the caliper off the rotor on the passenger side rear because it was just seized on. So I think that flex line is just doing the same issue that my other one was, which is it's not allowing fluid to flow through, so the caliper won't go back to release off the rotor. We might have to do the same thing on the driver's side rear, but it doesn't really matter. I just need to get this car back about 30 feet. But let's go ahead, try firing up the car, see if it runs any better with the spark plugs being cleaned. And then we might have to grab the four-wheeler later on today to hook it up and winch it back if we can't get it to roll freely. Well, that's pretty awesome, guys. It's running way better. It's running on all 6 cylinders now, and I was able to roll it forward no problem. So let's see if we can put it in reverse and get it to go backwards. Alright guys, we finally got the KitCar out of the storage unit. It's running way better on all 6 cylinders now that I changed the spark plugs out. They're not getting fouled up and misfiring and whatnot. So yeah, she's going forward, she's going backwards. Calipers are still kind of sticking. So what I want to do is get it back in this area here. So I have to get a saw, trim some more trees back down, move that drain pipe, and should be able to slam this into gear and get her back here so I can store another car here. Will it be the El Cuda, the Cuda, or a potential new project? Stay tuned and find out. Just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be